Today on the channel, it's AEW Fan Fest. We go over the AEW Fan Fest Unrivaled and Unmatched reveals from the day and all the surprises. Welcome everyone, Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel. Labor Day weekend, all out weekend, AEW Jazwares Fan Fest announcement weekend, I guess we'll call that, is today. The AEW Jazwares team was out in full force in Chicago, showing future waves, future figures to the collector community and everybody online. And I figured we'd do a video today, kind of recapping the events, recapping the figures we saw today, and doing a little talk about them. And so far, most of these figures that we saw today, though, are renderings. They're not actual prototypes in hand. I do miss those old days of seeing them in hand, seeing the sculpts and all that. Now, you know, the computer age, we're basically getting computer rendered, and they always look so good on these computer rendered. Sometimes they look just as good in figure form. Sometimes they have a little bit of a miss, as we've seen that before in the past. But it was an interesting reveal day out there. We saw some stuff we knew, a little bit more fleshed out, and then, of course, there was tons of announcements today, like these things usually go. But let's get into it. Let's jump into it. We're going to start off where they started off with, and that's AEW Unmatched Series 3. Yes, Series 3 of Unmatched. We know there's Unrivaled, Unmatched, basically an alternating cycle of releases out there. The grand scheme to keep figures on the shelves at all time for the AEW Jazwares team out there. Very smart business model. Very similar to the Jax Ruthless Aggression Ring Rage model of years past. So there you go. But the first one we saw from Unmatched Series 3, we saw Darby Allin, the LJN figure from the series. We know they are doing every other with an LJN in Series 1, 3, 5, and so on. And then Luminaries in Series 2, 4, 6, so on. That's how that is going. As of right now, I'm a completist on the LJN's mint on card, so the Darby Allin will have packaging like this. We assume. We did not see packaging. But there's the Cody, if you had not seen that in the past. But Darby Allin is the next LJN figure they're going to come out with. LJN-inspired figure, whatever you want to call it. Darby Allin, one of the most popular guys on the AEW roster. Of course, face paint. You know everybody loves face-painted wrestlers, myself included. So it'll be interesting. I think that's probably makes a lot of sense to be in the LJN-inspired. I think that's what they're looking for, more of the homegrown AEW talent, if you could call it that, giving them their just due in the LJN line. So Darby Allin, the first one we saw, and we knew that was coming, and we knew all the Unmatched Series 3 figures were coming, but we got little better renders today, and this is the set we're getting a lot of the Dark Order in, and we're getting John Silver was the next one they showed. Didn't say really any accessories or anything like that going on, so some of these figures look a little plain Jane. I gotta think they will be spiced up, maybe some soft goods in there, weapons, accessories, that kind of stuff. So more on that to come. We're a long ways away from in-package images. We're looking at months for that for the most part. But I got to think pre-orders will be coming up fairly soon for some of this stuff. So I anticipate ringside in the next week, maybe as time this video posts, they'll have some new pre-orders from the AEW figures. So get your wallets ready and prepared. But John Silver, the next one, nice purple Dark Order gear. The knee pad really sticks out on this one, I thought. Of course, John Silver. He should be a smaller figure. He's a smaller guy, bigger, smaller guy. That makes sense at all. But you guys know John Silver out there. And then we saw another Dark Order member recent returning from injury on AEW programming. We got Anna Jay, another female. We're starting to build out those female rosters with the AEW figures. Anna Jay, a popular one. One that stole my heart and never let go. I don't know if she'll quite be a Rio, but we'll see. We'll see what the old pegs say to her one day very soon. Maybe first of the year or somewhere around there. We also saw more Dark Order. Like I said, this is the series of Dark Order. We saw Stu Grayson in Series 3. Face paint, mask, beard, same thing, mask, beard, all the same, right? He's got a beard, kind of a loincloth-like deal he wears there, but a little bit plain. I mean, he's got a cool face going on with the face paint and the beard, but once again, a little plain. So we need some accessories with these to spice them up a little bit, but we're getting Stu Grayson to go along with John Silver and the rest of the Dark Order. And then the big one I know a lot of people are excited for, Mr. Brody Lee, his first AEW figure. So far, I'm sure we're going to get a few more. I got to think we'll get a suited one eventually. But Mr. Brody Lee, his first AEW Jazwares figure, looking very solid. I mean, as far as his computer render goes, it looks just like him. It's some of his gear he's worn. I'm not an expert on the event it was worn at, but we know this was worn in the ring in performances time in AEW. So I know a lot of people, that's probably going to be the one everybody's looking for in Series 3. I have to think that will be the big one everybody's going to want for sure. And keep on going through Series 3, Evil Uno, another one. So it truly is the Dark Order. It'd be interesting if the packaging is Dark Order inspired at all. I don't think it's going to be, but it would almost be a cool little Easter egg to Mr. Brody Lee and the rest of the Dark Order if they did something like that. But Evil Uno, now not everybody's favorite character out there, but pretty toyetic if you ask me. If you guys know what I like, mask, big wrestlers, that's what he kind of fits in. Not tall, but big, of course. But it looks pretty good. This looks really awesome, actually. I like the looks of this figure. This could be the sleeper one of Series 3 out there of the Unmatched collection. Looks very solid in my book, so we'll see where that one ends up going. But then we turned our attention to Unmatched Series 4, and this is where new ground was broken for all of us in the Jazwares community. Unfortunately, no pictures of, or even computer renderings of anything. We just got still pictures of the character or the wrestler or whatever you want to say. But I guess this will depict what they will be wearing, and we're getting... Series 4 started off with Cody Rhodes. No surprise, Cody Rhodes in a suit. It's been threatened for a while. I'm surprised, honestly, it took this long to get Cody Rhodes in a suit, but we're finally going to get Cody Rhodes in a suit. It'll be interesting. Customizers love suited figures. As you pop that head off, maybe pop the hands off, and you can make different characters. It'll be interesting if they stick to this suit or if they give a generic colored suit out there that will really lend itself to customizers out in the world. So stay tuned for that Cody Rhodes figure. But we also saw in Series 4 Unmatched another MJF. I got to think this one will be somewhat of a peg warmer. Yes, he's coming on strong, but I think it's a little overkill with the MJFs. And I don't know if this is part of COVID issues. That's been kind of the word they've said in the past from the Jazwares team, that COVID really stopped traveling, stopped getting them to be able to do head scans and stuff. And that's why we saw so many re-releases or, the same characters in repeated lineups. I don't know if that's some of the reason with this MJF, but I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people are looking for another MJF, at least this soon after. This is an exciting one in Series 4. We're getting Jade Cargill, once again, building out the female figures. Talk about toyetic. I got to think this is going to be a slam dunk, really good-looking figure out there. You don't see female wrestlers that are, that jacked, I guess, is for lack of a better term. So this one should be a pretty popular figure. Her first figure ever, of course. And then the big one, probably the most anticipated figure in a long time, since whatever the last Ultimate Warrior figure was. Come on now, you guys know we all want the Warrior. But CM Punk, a favorite of mine. I've been a CM Punk fan for many, many, many years. So I'm very excited to get a Series 4 CM Punk. I have to think this one is going to be street clothes. It's going to lend itself to more his first appearance, because I think that'll be an easy figure to rush to production. I'm not sure of the date of Series 4 release. I mean, Series 2, you got to think this year. So I'm thinking, just kind of like we said in weekly purchases weeks back, I think we're thinking springtime for this CM Punk. It might get out a little bit earlier, maybe ringside orders a little earlier, but I'm pretty much thinking probably springtime. You got to think CM Punk's going to be in so many lines over the years. We're going to be all CM Punk'd out before it's all said and done, but we're going to probably get the inaugural CM Punk as his first appearance in AEW. I have to assume that's what we're going to hear. Maybe it'll get an ice cream bar accessory, something along them lines, but very interesting in Series 4 getting CM Punk right off the bat. We knew it was coming. They had to rush that one to production. It's just too much of a buzz. And I got to think, if Daniel Bryan comes to town, if he ends up coming, Adam Cole ends up coming to AEW, I got to think they'll be in similar sets, rushed in, getting to it as fast as they possibly can. It's just a good business. And at the end of the day, I got my business hat on today. So you got to put your business hat on, and what's going to move the most units? Of course, CM Punk is going to do that. And then the interesting one, you guys know I love Legends characters, and this seems to be the Legends spot in the AEW line. Unmatched Series 4, the Luminaries, another word for Legend, of course. We're getting Chris Jericho from his old AAA, was it AAA, or where was he down there? But his Mexican wrestling days, way back, was it Corazon de Leon or something like that? Very deep cut. I like it, though. We've never got this incarnation of Chris Jericho ever, so it's cool to get this version of Chris Jericho. I just wish that Luminaries line was either a standalone line, I don't know if that'd be too much, or maybe one in every set. Have a Luminary and Unrivaled, have an LJN and Unmatched, something like that. I just don't like getting a Legends every other set, because there's so many of these guys we'd really like to get. We'd like to get a really good Taz figure. We'd like to get Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake Roberts, Vicky Guerrero. I guess you could even throw into that line. Later on would be better. But there's a lot of luminaries I think we could get throwback figures from, and I'd like to see that instead of only getting like 4 a year. I'd like to see one, every other month at least or something along that lines. But Chris Jericho, this should be a good one, and Chris Jericho, no stranger to the AEW lineup, as well as you guys know. We also saw Series 4. We're getting another Adam Hangman Page, one of the top guys out there, so it makes sense. But once again, a lot like MJF, I don't know if we needed another Hangman Page this soon, this early. But you guys know they're going to keep the top stars at the very top of the release schedule and get those guys out at a fairly regular basis. So he'll be coming to Series 4. So an interesting one, Series 4. And then we saw computer images. That's kind of the theme of today. We saw Unrivaled Collection Series 8. And I think some of these had been leaked already. But we saw Orange Cassidy. He's coming out. We're going to get a soft goods shirt, removable jacket, some of those bells and whistles. Looks like they're reusing the bottom half. That really is his mold. They're going to stick with that. You guys know on the channel we always say you got to get the most out of your molds. That's what they're doing with that Orange Cassidy figure. But Orange Cassidy, a popular one, will be in Series 8. Then we turn our attention to the old best friends. Yes, the best friends. You guys are my best friends. Series 8, Chuck Taylor. Old Chucky T. I saw him on the indie scene a lot over the years. Really cool to see him get his due in AEW. But we're getting his figure as part of the best friends. And then the best friends continue with Trent. Question mark. Trent Beretta, we're getting a figure of him. A little known fact, he does have a Mattel basic figure. It's very hard to find earlier basic, but there is a Trent Beretta at the time, a basic figure. But Trent, we saw that. That was announced at the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast live show. We first saw Trent pictures, and same with Chris Statlander, who they did officially announce today with Chris Statlander. That should be a really good one. We talked about it before. I felt that looked a lot like Maria Kanellis to me. Maybe, I don't know, you guys tell me your opinion on that one, but a very, very strong one. I can't wait to get Chris Statlander. She's probably my favorite female wrestler on the AEW roster. So there you go. There's a little Easter egg for you. But Chris Statlander. And then once again, like we've heard with a lot of this, I've said it a few times today, Jon Moxley makes another return to the lineup, getting all Jon Moxley'd out. Same thing applies for Cody and Hangman and MJF. It's just like we've gotten so many of these guys, I don't know if we need any more. But there's a lot of Moxley fans out there. There's a lot of people that love Jon Moxley like I love an Ultimate Warrior or a Sting or somebody like that. So kudos to them. Good for them to get more Jon Moxley figures. And then we did see in Series 8, this one is pretty exciting too. You guys know I'm a sucker for face paint. So we're getting the Painmaker version of Chris Jericho. I wonder if it'll come with a jacket, a spiky jacket as well. I'd have to assume that would be the case. But very cool to get a Painmaker version of Chris Jericho in Unrivaled Collection Series 8. All right, continuing on, AEW, they continued going on with more reveals, and the AEW Unrivaled Series 9 was next up on the table, and we've got a Brian Cage coming our way. I'm all in on Brian Cage. You guys know I love big wrestlers, and that's a big dude, a big muscle-up, jacked-up dude. I'm excited to get that. It's a little bit of Team Taz in Series 9, as we're also getting Powerhouse Hobbs, his first figure. Brian Cage had a figure from FTC back in the day, a little bit god-awful, I would say, but Powerhouse Hobbs getting his first figure in the Taz-inspired team gear as well. And then rounding out Team Taz in AEW Unrivaled Series 9, we're getting Ricky Starks. So we're getting a Ricky Starks figure. So really the core of Team Taz, but where is Taz? That's who we need. And then Series 9 also continues with another one. I'm surprised is going into 9. I figured they'd try to rush him sooner, very similar to a CM Punk, but it might be about the same release time frame. We're getting Christian Cage, obviously former Christian in the WWE, a very, very big star, current Impact Wrestling champion. In Series 9, we are getting a Christian Cage figure, so that should be a very solid one and a very popular one. Another one I'm excited about is Eddie Kingston. Bring that thug attitude. Eddie's been around for many, many years. Very cool of him to get an action figure this late in his career, and he's doing a lot of big things in AEW, teaming with Moxley, of course, and he's around, I believe he's feuding with Miro as we currently speak. So Eddie Kingston coming to Series 9. And then one I'm very excited for. This could be the greatest female figure of all time. Old Thunder Rosa. She's got face paint. You guys know I'm a sucker for face paint. I've liked Thunder Rosa for a long time. Going back to when I first saw her, I was happy to see her get an opportunity in the AEW organization after NWA and Indies and stuff like that. And even MMA, Thunder Rosa back in the day. So very cool. Very excited for that Thunder Rosa figure. I'll be picking that one up day one. So that's what we saw from AEW Unrivaled Series 9. We followed up next with a ringside exclusive. We knew this one was coming, and I'm hoping it's a yearly tradition. With Blood and Guts pack of Dr. Britt Baker with bloody face. Very cool. We love bloody figures here on the channel, and I think a lot of you guys do as well. We got the Cody Rhodes, Dustin Blood Brothers 2-pack last year. It seems this year is going to be the Britt Baker one. And like I said, ringside collectibles exclusive. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. That one just went up for pre-order today. So get after that one. It sounds like a January ship date for that. Then we turn our attention to Smiths. Yes, Smiths in the UK. You guys are getting your yearly basic ring, I guess, with exclusive Adam Hangman Page figure. So once again, we get another Adam Hangman Page. I'm going to have to get that one. I don't think I really need the ring, but I'll definitely need the figure. So I'll have to find a connection over there in the UK to help me out with that. And I'm sure, like the Cody, those will be accessible to everyone over there eventually. So there it is. We're getting Adam Hangman Page with ring, and a lot of people have the rings by now, but Adam Hangman Page, cool, even though it is another Hangman. We were getting a lot of those Hangmans as we talked about earlier in the video. All right, next up in the AEW Fan Fest reveals, things took a little strange turn. I guess something a little different than what we've been seeing so far. We saw a Walmart exclusive Sting. Yes, right there. I'm like, hey, all right, Walmart exclusive Sting. I'm all in. And then it was announced it's a Wrestling Buddy. AEW Wrestling Buddy Sting, Walmart exclusive. Not for me, obviously. These are for little kids. You're trying to grow little kids' interest in wrestling and the figure lines and stuff. No better way to start than Wrestling Buddies. So I guess, this isn't for me. This isn't for a lot of us collectors out there. But not everything we get via Jazwares is necessarily going to be for adults. We'll get some kids stuff from time to time. So we're getting that Sting Walmart exclusive Wrestling Buddy. And then the next one was a very interesting one. We turned our attention to AEW Shop. Yes, AEW Shop, where you can order AEW things, obviously. But they're getting a figure exclusive. AEW Shop exclusive Chris Jericho, and he's wearing a shirt you're going to be able to get on AEW Shop, kind of co-branding, tying it all in there. I've seen people online say, hey, using the shop and stuff. WWE Shop did this way back about, 17, 18 years ago. You guys probably remember the old Eddie Guerrero exclusive, Undertaker exclusive, Stone Cold exclusive. We got 3 2-pack Jakks Classic Superstar exclusives. Something really WWE Shop Zone is missing out on and AEW has been missing out on for a while. But there it is. I like it. They're putting that together. Another Jericho figure. We get a lot of Jerichos. He's one like the Codys, the Hangman of the worlds that we seem to get on a pretty regular clip here. How many Jerichos do you need? I don't know. How many are they going to make? That's the answer for some of you guys out there, and I guess myself included. So it's an interesting one. No rhyme or reason as to when it is coming out. I didn't hear any announcements on that, but I guess we'll all stay tuned. They'll let us know, and I think this will be fairly easy to get. I don't think it'll be hard to come by. This kind of reminds me of some things that might sit around the shop for a long time, but we'll see how that ends up shaking out. Then next up, we got something you guys know I love, bloody figures. Carrying on in the tradition of Dustin and Cody Rhodes, old Terry Funk, Jakks Classic Superstars 1 of 100, and then, of course, Britt Baker that we saw earlier in this episode. We are getting a 2-pack of Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, 2 guys that are no stranger to any AEW lineup at this point, but we're getting bloody, beat-up versions of these two. I'm all in. It signifies the match they had. We're not getting just blood on the head. We're getting it on the body. We're getting it on the arms. A lot of good attention to detail on here as far as I remember, so very cool. Not sure where this 2-pack is going. I thought I read Amazon, but I'm not 100% sure there. But it could be Amazon. It could be Ringside. It could be everywhere under the sun. But speaking of Amazon, another worst kept secret is these have been floating around. Images of these packs have been floating around for quite some time. It looks like we're getting 2 packs as Amazon exclusives. The first one they showed was Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Like I said, we'd seen these in the past. 2 microphones, extra hands, the tag team title belts. Just easy, simple repaints here. I'm all in on it, but continues to say, guys, we're really reliving Jakks Mania from the Adrenaline, the Treacherous Trios, the single packs, the exclusive, the 2-packs, the chases, the rares. It's really history repeating itself at this point. But we're getting those 2. And then we're also getting a 2-pack with Kenny Omega. Once again, Jon Moxley wasn't enough. We're getting Adam Hangman Page and Kenny Omega 2-pack, so we're getting that one as well. So for those of you guys that want those, not sure if they're going to be that much different, just basically a repaint. And we're going to see a lot of that, and once again, just like the old Jax days out there, repaints were aplenty. And then another 2-pack was announced from Amazon. We've got Darby Allin and another Jon Moxley figure. Yes, Jon Moxley, he keeps coming. He's got his barbed wire baseball bat. Darby's got his skateboard. We're just going to keep pumping these guys out. It's another way to get these guys out in between lines because they want the top guys out at all times. No different than the top picks WWE stars. That's kind of their version. They're pumping them out, making sure they're on the streets for everybody to get at all times. And then we saw the famed Amazon exclusive Chris Jericho single pack. Comes with the pink and white jackets. All that kind of fun stuff. We knew this was coming. We knew it was exclusive to Amazon. I still don't believe we know exactly when. I feel this stuff will go up pre-order fairly soon. I got to think it's going to ship here before the end of the year. That's just my gut telling me that. So Amazon really getting into the exclusive game with Jazwares, which is okay to see. It's all right to see. So there is what I saw today. There could still be stuff coming. Jeremy Padower on his Twitter kind of said, how do you like the reveals so far? And then there's been nothing for a few hours. So I think it's over, but who knows? We might get another round of releases. The Britt Baker figure, like I said, that seems to be the only one so far that has went up for pre-order on Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%, of course. $40 for a single figure with 2 heads. It's a little tough pill to swallow, but I got to think we'll have a pretty good packaging for this one. It is an exclusive. It is limited run to Ringside, so I guess that's part of the value, the perceived value, I should say. And we also got to remember inflation. Inflation's everywhere. We talk about it on weekly purchases a lot. I guarantee it's coming to Ringside and everybody else under the sun. So we just got to get used to some of these new price points. And like we always say, we all vote with our wallet. If we don't like it, don't support it. And the companies will figure something out or else they'll go out of business. As you guys know, and we've seen that before with Kmart's of the world and places like that. So an interesting news day. Always love new figure reveals, even though this didn't quite feel like reveals to me, just because it's not in-hand pictures or prototypes of the actual figures. These are digital rendering, but we see it with Mattel too, so it's really the state of the world now, how things are done. The old days of putting them together and having them there, really, we don't see that anymore. So it's renderings all day long, but, it's better than nothing, I guess. So a little peek into our AEW Jazwares future. It's pretty bright. I don't know if we quite need shades quite yet, but we'll see. But there's a lot to like. My biggest disappointment of it all is so many repeated characters. The Moxleys of the world, the Hangmans, getting so many releases. But I understand it at the same time. So with both sides, I get both sides of it. That's a little disappointing to me. I do love them venturing into the bloody figures. I do love some of these first time in the line guys we're going to get, like CM Punk. I'm all in on the LJN and Luminaries idea. I hope we see some really good Luminaries in the future. So there's a lot to like, and there's a lot to look forward to, like anything else, and we'll see where it all goes. Next time, we'll do another video like this whenever the next round of announcements happen. But you guys tell me in the comments, what are you excited for? What are you looking for? Was there anything that disappointed you here? Any thoughts on it? You tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video. You made it this far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. We're marching towards 10,000 subscribers. Once we hit it, we're going to do some giveaways. We're going to do some fun stuff on the channel, so be prepared for that. And then follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram for all kinds of figure news, pictures, video posts, all that kind of stuff. I also post links a lot of time to some of the new releases. Got to get them while they're up hot before they sell out. So make sure you're following me on social media. And of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson and, pick up a t-shirt, support the channel. So for the AEW Jazwares news of the day, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.